Good evening and welcome to Truth and Justice TV. My name's Jennifer Obaseki, also known as DJ. I didn't realise that my staff started calling me DJ by nickname for Dr. J. And I'm here this evening with Suleiman Yahya.
Thank you.
And today we're going to be talking about immigration. Remember, over the last 2 weeks we've been talking about points-based applications, troubles that migrants have and barriers that they have towards integrating, challenges for refugee and migrant women and girls and men. But today we're going to be talking from a business perspective and from a graduate's perspective due to the UK immigration changes. So if you are interested, it's time to sit up close or time to take down some notes. And the one thing you can do is take down Mr. Yahya's name. So, Suleiman, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
For those people who don't know you, please introduce yourself. Let them know where you work.
Thank you. My name is Suleiman Yahya, and I work at Obaseki Solicitors.
Is it not just the best place?
It is indeed.
No pressure.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to be talking about points-based applications. Now, what we have is we have a lot of students who are here in the UK. Many of them in the past would be looking towards either graduating, going back home, or graduating and then looking for sponsorship so that they can stay in the UK, or looking for some kind of way that they can stay on post the study period.
That's right.
And because of the pandemic, some have been delayed in graduating, delayed in making decisions. So let's try and clarify things for people.
Okay.
So first of all, if somebody's here and has completed a degree program and they've come from anywhere, now that EU versus Asian versus African student,
Yes.
it's a level playing field.
Absolutely.
So what would you say to that student who's come from outside of the UK and is at the end of their studies or coming towards the end of their studies and thinking, what next? I like the UK so much, how do I stay on?
Okay, thank you very much. So what you need to do if you are in the UK currently studying for at least a bachelor's degree or equivalent, you can stay after completing your program. You will be able to apply for a 2-year visa. That will enable you to continue to remain in UK and work. You are able to do so. If you have a family, you can continue to work.
If they have dependents, can the dependents also stay?
Absolutely, they can stay.
All right, so some people might be confused because under the old rules, if they wanted to work, the person that would be employing them would need to have a sponsorship license.
That's right.
In this situation, does the person that wants to offer them the job, or do they have to have a job offer, and does it have to be with somebody who has a sponsorship license?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Obviously, under this new scheme, you don't have to have a job offer from a sponsor who has the sponsorship license. What you are able to do is once you have successfully completed your program, you can then apply for this visa.
Particular visa, okay.
Yes, and that that enables you to work. You don't have to have an employer who has the license.
Okay,
Yes.
but must you have the job offer?
Not at all. No, you don't have to
Wow.
have a job offer.
So those of you out there, you must understand that this is quite an open avenue for you to make an application to extend your stay. Now, what if the person gets towards the end of the 2 years, they're not sure what to do? Can they switch?
Yes, they are able to switch. Unfortunately, they cannot extend
So
this visa.
you can't extend the
No,
2
no,
years,
no, you
but
can't.
you can transition to
Absolutely.
a different route within
Yes,
the 2 years.
That's right. You can switch from that route to a different route, and there will be quite a number of routes depending on your particular circumstance. So you'll be able to switch from this to a different route as well. You can do.
Okay,
Yes.
so what if the person has done a PhD here? So they've done their master's or they've done a PhD. Are there any other options that they might have?
Yes, absolutely. Again, if you have done a PhD program, that enables you to apply for 3 years.
Ah, not just two.
No, not 2, as it is in the case of a bachelor's degree or master's. So for PhD is 2 years. I'm sorry, 3 years. And again, at the end of that 3 years, you are able to switch to a different route. There will be quite a number of routes options. I should
So you
say.
can get married.
Absolutely.
Can you come back and do more studies? Can you go back and become a student again?
No, because of PhD, you can't. I mean,
What else do you want to study after you've done the doctorate?
Well,
but if it's somebody who's done their first degree,
absolutely,
they can then go on and go and do masters afterwards.
They can progress upward.
But it's all about meeting the criteria again.
Correct.
But the fact that you can make the application to switch is what's important.
Yes.
So you can find somebody you meet and get married.
That's right.
You can decide to switch into an investor route.
Absolutely.
You may stay on and do further studies. But the whole point is you can, from the very get-go, apply for this visa, not necessarily have a job offer, not necessarily go into an employment that is offered by somebody who has a Home Office sponsorship license.
Yes.
So the UK is open for business and wants you to stay and work for 2 years, basically.
That's correct. Absolutely. Obviously, for those who have successfully gone through this 2 years post-graduation visa, they can obviously look to go into the shortage occupation where there is demand for professionals, particularly in the health sector, for instance.
Okay, so the professional shortage list, you can get that on the Home Office website. Currently, as you know, because of the pandemic, there's a few NHS-style jobs and those within the medical profession, but there are also those within tech, engineering, and other vocations. Specifically, they're detailed on the shortage list. So do have a look at it.
They do have option as well. Again, they probably can look into innovators visa.
Okay, so
provided they are able to meet the requirements.
What we'll do then is we will have a very short break, and when we come back, we'll look at the innovation and other investment routes. So see you after these few moments. Welcome back, and today on Truth and Justice TV we are talking immigration, postgraduate and points-based visas. So just before the break we were talking about the innovation visa, as we'd already discussed what you can do as a student who wants to stay on, post-graduation, your options. So innovation visa, many people kind of look at it and think it's quite a high bar to scale. What would you say?
Yes. Okay. What I would say to that is, obviously, in relation to innovators visa, you are required to have endorsement.
The endorsement element.
Yes.
The amount of investment is fairly low.
It is indeed. Yes.
Well, not low for many, but for some,
Yes.
they would consider it quite low.
That's right. Absolutely. I think absolutely. The endorsement part of it is one aspect that some people might probably find challenging. Yes.
Well, the whole point is it can't be just an ordinary business scheme. Can't be something that's common play. It has to have that level of innovation. So whether it's within the field of tech,
Absolutely.
whether it's a unique service provision that somebody hasn't thought of, the innovative part is the part that needs to be signed off by an approved body.
Absolutely.
The amount, 50,000.
Yes.
It's not unachievable, and it also has to be a fund that's within your own possession and control.
Yes.
Even if it's in a company's name, you have to have some level of endorsement or be the director and control of those funds in order to satisfy the investment requirement. So where most people trip up is on the endorsement because of the fact that it's not innovative enough.
That's right.
So if you're saying, for example, you're going to be a baker, well, there's so many, it's commonplace, but if it's going to be baking to specific tastes and for specific online delivery, you might be then being a bit more innovative with your service. And in coming to our practice, one of the things I'll say to them is, for me, I love business and I head and advise a number of business organizations, but with my own qualifications, I actually have economics and business within my own professional qualifications. So I love the challenge of designing a business plan and helping clients achieve their goals.
That's right.
So outside innovation, what other options do they have?
Okay, there is obviously again there's the option of the investment of about 2 million, which will enable you to obviously bring your family if you are
dependents.
If you have dependent, then that obviously is for 5 years route, after which you'll be able to apply for settlement.
Finally, settlement, because most people think, I'm bringing all this money, doing all these things, and what happens at the end of it?
Absolutely.
So apart from that particular amount of investment, is there another level?
Absolutely. There is another level where you invest I think 5 million for you to be able to stay in the UK for 3 years for you to have settlement status.
So it sort of expedites it, because normally it's 10 years before you can get settlement.
Absolutely.
So these are sort of shortcuts depending on how much in millions you invest. So if you are thinking of establishing a high-end or large-scale business, factory, full investment on industry, it could be an option for you and your family as well to relocate to the UK. I always say to people, if you're concerned and you want to still have arms in Europe, you can always register a branch, head office, or some kind of distribution centre in Ireland. Correspondence will be in English, that way you don't have to spend money on translations.
That's right.
So therefore, it is also an option for you. We have our consultant in Ireland who's been doing that for some of our clients.
Exactly. And then there's the sole representative aspect of it as well. If you have a business organization outside of UK and you are looking to extend or set up your the branch arm of your business in the UK. So you'll be able to do that and send one of your representative from the company outside of UK to come into UK to be able to manage the company in the UK for you.
So what we'll do now is we'll take another very, very short break. When we come back, we'll also give you some contact details to which you can send questions, queries to, and so that we can make sure that we deal with any niggling questions or concerns you might have around this topic. So see you after these few moments. Welcome back, and today we are talking about immigration and points-based applications. And just before the break, we were speaking about some of the fast-track routes towards settlement.
That's right.
And the levels of investment once again.
Okay.
So you said 2 million?
2 million for 5 years. 5 million for 3 years. Then 10 million for 2 years.
And then at the end of that, whoever puts in that amount of capital or investment into the UK can apply for settlement with their dependents.
Correct.
All right. So as I've said, that is quite a good option for those who are thinking of establishing an industry or relocating an industry to the UK. The whole point is the United Kingdom is trying to make itself open for business. Though these routes have been in place for some time, they've kind of made it flexible for everybody, not just those who are coming from the EU, to set up and establish an enterprise in the UK. And the higher the level of investment, the quicker your route towards settling in the UK, which is the important thing. And we were also talking about the sole representative route.
Yes, absolutely.
A few weeks ago, I had Dr. Alex Amicarelli here. And we were explaining again that this is quite a good option if you don't have those high levels of investment, or you don't have the amount for the innovation visa.
Yes.
What you might want to do is send one person from your company, if it's already established and outside of the UK, to come into the UK as a sole representative.
That's right.
To continue doing your work.
Yes.
So that's as a brand ambassador, that's as a company rep, that's to sit and establish your UK branch.
Yes.
And what is required for that?
Okay, in order for you to be able to do that, you have to obviously have incorporated that arm of your business in the UK. It has to be, fully incorporated.
So the company registration has to be dealt with.
Yes, you have to do that, and then you'll be able to send this representative to UK, provided they are able to satisfy the requirements as well.
For the visa.
Absolutely.
Now, what is the salary that the person needs to have?
Yeah, 25,000.
So it's, again, much less than the innovation visa, and it's something that is, I would say, achievable if you are turning over profit where you are, or if you take even a loan in your company where you are based, and then use it to establish your UK branch. At least you show the funds are there to pay the UK salary of £25,000.
Correct.
Plus, in the UK, obviously, there are other taxes and liabilities that your company may have to also satisfy.
Yeah.
So it will be more than that particular figure. So it's very important you take detailed advice.
Absolutely, that's correct. Absolutely. Again, in relation to to the point you've made, these representatives are only able to work for this company. They cannot work outside.
If they cannot resign and then go elsewhere.
No. So they're only able to work for their employer, who is sending them or who has sent them to UK.
So the important thing about that is also making sure that their contract of employment is very detailed.
Correct.
Making sure that you outline place, location of employment, and notice period, should in case you're worried about them jumping ship rather, and then maybe establishing some level of competition towards your own business.
Absolutely.
So again, tying that all down in a very robust employment contract, which is again something you do.
Absolutely.
I love employment law, but only to a limit. But Mr. Yaya loves employment law, so
I do a lot of yes.
he'll be your man.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely important that the terms are very well
drafted,
and that everyone is happy with the terms and what they are letting them in for.
On saying that, people out there don't get to see you because you're actually not one that always likes to come forward or go to different things. So, if somebody wants to get hold of you, how do they get hold of you?
Yes, they can email me at immigration@obasekisolicitors.com or suleiman@obasekisolicitors.com.
Yes, so you can easily email him directly.
Yes.
And if you have queries about anything we've discussed today, feel free to drop an email, as he said, to immigration@obasekisolicitors.com or directly to suleiman@obasekisolicitors.com. Now, let's think about some situations,
Okay.
You've got somebody now who's coming from Italy, and they've finished their master's degree, and they're thinking, actually, I don't really want to go back.
Yes.
What options does that person have?
Quite a number of options, really. The first is applying for the 2-year visa, which will enable them to stay and continue to stay. Then, if it is a master's degree, as you have said in this particular scenario, after 2 years, they should be looking, before the end of that, they should be looking for their options on how to switch from that route. So that they go back to enroll for PhD, which will take them another 3 to 5 years. And then after that, they will be entitled to another 3 years.
Wow.
So
think about it.
Yeah.
2 years first, study again if you've got the money for the studies, then another 3 years after that.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully if the UK doesn't change its rules again.
That's right, absolutely.
Because the rules do change quite frequently.
Yeah.
All right, let's try another one.
Okay.
Let's think about Bayo. Bayo has come from Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay, he's initially finished his degree. He's also done his PhD.
Yes.
And he's thinking about starting a new online travel business.
Yes.
For Globetrotters, since we're now in a global society. So he's thinking about the innovation visa, and
Yes.
he has 50,000 that he's raised from venture capitalists and friends and family. What would be your advice to him?
Okay, my first advice is for him to ensure that he has detailed business plan. That will obviously set out the direction, the focus, obviously.
And see if we can get that innovative,
Yes.
at least criteria that is
Because-
required for that particular.
Because this business must be not only innovative, it must be scalable.
Okay.
It has to be scalable. Once all of these are obviously certified, then he should be looking to, make his application for the license for him to.
And
to
if
come.
that's all satisfied, perfectly. But if it's not satisfied, does he have other options?
Absolutely.
So, for example, could he establish this tourism company in Ghana, make himself the director, or Nigeria, make himself the director, then afford himself the salary for 25,000 as the sole representative, and come back to the UK?
Yes, he's able to do so, provided he's able to satisfy
The requirements.
Because the Home Office will look to obviously ascertain that this business is a legitimate business
Okay.
and that this business is viable.
All right. So the other thing is, if he was to do that as the sole representative, he would still need to establish his business outside the UK, show the salary, register the UK arm, and then come in as the sole representative and work for it.
That's right.
So that's an option.
Yes.
So there's different ways you can switch it and twist it.
Yes.
And if, for example, we have other people that come in on the sponsorship license, or a business that's thinking about doing the sponsorship license.
That's right.
What can we say to that business and the requirements? So I have, for example, a care home.
Yes.
And I'm looking to employ carers into the UK. They've said to people they must have their double jabs. I've lost a lot of my workforce because some of them are scared. Don't be scared, but some of them are scared.
That's right.
So I'm thinking, oh gosh, I need to hire some more people very quickly.
Yes.
How do I get this sponsorship license so I can bring so many people into my establishment?
Okay, obviously the requirements are obviously laid out. I think you should first of all get legal advice. That's what we do very well. The Home Office obviously will look to see that this business is a genuine business, is established, is paying taxes, making tax return. They will come round and check the location of the
They
business.
come and visit,
They
so
visit,
you have
they
to be
visit.
ready.
Yes.
Have your systems in place
And
because
you
they
must
look
have,
at them.
absolutely, you must have your human resources arm of it working, because they want to see that you are keeping good record of your employee.
Especially their visas and
Yes.
how you're monitoring their
Absolutely.
eligibility to stay,
Yes, ongoing
stay and
monitoring.
work in the UK. So ongoing monitoring.
Absolutely.
But
So-
is it very complicated?
No, not at all. It's
Many
not.
people think it's very complicated, I presume, because though we have lots of clients in that field, other people don't realise that they could be doing this in order to bolster their ability to
Yes.
hire from outside of the UK.
Yeah, it's not complicated. All you need to do is, if you have obviously
All the things we've mentioned, yeah?
yes, and you have any sort of confusion, if you like, please contact legal advice. Seek legal advice. The requirements are pretty straightforward. All you need to do is to ensure that you satisfy or tick every single one of them, and they are pretty straightforward. You have to be a business incorporated in the UK. You have to have a location. Because they'll come round to check to see that you have all this. Yeah.
What if you the cost, is it that expensive
No,
to
no.
do?
Is it the cost of the license?
The cost of applying for the license?
No,
for the
it's
Home
not.
Office?
It's not. Obviously, if you are a business with employees of below 50, the cost of the license to the Home Office is £538.
Wow, so
If you have-
it is as I say, accessible.
Yes. And if your staff strength is above 50, then that would be to 1,500.
Okay.
Yes.
And once again, if you have any confusion on achieving or applying for the sponsorship license, feel free to contact us at Obaseki Solicitors.
Absolutely.
Feel free to directly contact Suleiman. Is there anything else you would like to say before we round up today?
Obviously, please, if you have difficulty in navigating the immigration rules, please contact Obaseki Solicitors or seek legal advice.
Thank you.
They are not that complicated. All you need to do is that little guidance, if you like.
Yes. So thank you for joining us today. Talk sponsorship visas, graduate, postgraduate visas, and investment visas. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And remember, stay safe, be good, and if you cannot be good, be very, very careful. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.